Hi, I'm Belinda, the Director of the Institute of Personal Care Science, and today I'm going to show you just how easy it is to make a natural hydrating shower milk. Now this product has a light but milky foam and application, and it washes off easily, helping the skin feel really moisturized after application. It's also great for sensitive skin, and I'll talk you through some of the ingredient selections I've made as I show you how to put it together. So let me show you how it's done. Now I am making my life easier by putting this product together with the ICA LR1000, but I'm going to talk you through the method steps, so even if you don't have the fancy equipment, you can still put this formula together. First, I've got my water phase in the vessel, and to this I'm going to add my surfactant. Now in this formula, to keep it all natural, naturally derived, I'm using sodium cocoa glutamate. This doesn't have a huge foam profile, but it is super mild on the skin and still provides effective cleansing. Now one of the secret tricks in this formula is I'm using cetyl alcohol. This is going to make my product very milky looking. It's also a non-ionic emulsifier, so it adds mildness to the formula. It helps build viscosity. If you've watched any of my other videos, you'll know building viscosity in a natural foaming product is very difficult. And of course I'm using the cetyl alcohol because normally we would make a foaming product pearlescent or appear milky looking using glycol stearate, which is not natural. So I'm using the cetyl alcohol as it's naturally derived, and it will help us achieve a nice viscosity and milky appearance to this formula, as well as added mildness. Now I'm just going to heat this and stir using low shear until this first phase is homogeneous. As you can see, I'm using low shear mixing. Now this is important at this step because we don't want to introduce too much air into the formulation. So I'm using low shear to help mix my ingredients while the cetyl alcohol melts without getting too much air or foam captured into my formula. So even if you're not using equipment like this, make sure you're being careful not to introduce air into your mixing. While this step's being prepared, I can also prepare my slurry. So here I have my glycerin and here I have my xanthan gum. And I just want to combine these until I get a nice smooth slurry. Now, especially when you're preparing larger batches, you need to think about how you're going to scale up your method. This ICA LR1000 makes the job easy. But even when you're mixing things like your slurry step, you need to make sure that even when it's a larger amount, you get all of those little gummy bits smooth. And as you can see, I have a really smooth slurry. Again, this is really important that it's nice and smooth without any clumps before I add it into my water phase shortly. Now while this is melting and mixing, I can then prepare my final phase. Now here I have my super fatting material. Now this is really, really important in your formula. One of the reasons we don't add straight oils into surfactant formulas is if we put oil into the formula, our surfactant has to form a micelle around the oil to stabilize it in the formula. So instead we use what are called super fatting agents. Now these have a partially water loving and partially oil loving portion to them. So instead of needing to be stabilized within a surfactant micelle in the formula, they actually form part of the surfactant properties of the formula, but still provide beautiful conditioning benefits to the hair or the skin. This is a really important ingredient in this formula because it will help bring extra mildness to the formula. It won't impact the foaming or cleansing properties, and it will impart extra mildness and conditioning benefits to the skin. So While we've got the cetearyl alcohol to make the product look nice and milky and build some structure to it, it's actually the super fatting material that's going to be delivering some of those beautiful conditioning benefits that you expect from a hydrating shower milk. To prepare the final phase, I'm just going to add my preservative and essential oil and tocopherol to the super fatting agent and then stir them to combine. Now that the wax has melted and we have a homogeneous mixture, we can add that gum slurry. One of the great things about this formula that I've created for you is adding the xanthan gum at this stage, it won't fully hydrate because the pH of the formula is currently too high. When I add the essential oil and preservative step, that pH will be brought down, allowing the xanthan gum to hydrate and the product to thicken. When the product has cooled below 40 degrees, we can now add our essential oils, antioxidant preservative, and of course, that super fatting agent. And we just stir this through under low shear until it's homogeneously mixed. Now we can check and adjust the pH. And there we have our completed shower milk. Now here is the product. This is after it's set overnight. Because you have used a hot process mixing, you do need to allow the product a little time to cool and set completely before pouring off. And this is the product here. As you can see, it's got a nice mild foam to it for effective yet gentle cleansing, and of course it turns beautiful and milky in a shower. Now I used a lavender essential oil in this example, but you could use a variety of different essential oils. I'm not just relying on the gum in this formula to help thicken and build the viscosity. My cetearyl alcohol is achieving a beautiful viscosity for me as well. And I could add some micas or pearlescent sheens to alter the color of this product and it would still be natural. So there you go. That's how to create a natural hydrating shower milk. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please leave any questions or comments below and make sure you subscribe to receive notifications about all our videos. Happy formulating!